This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is The List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
Welcome back, list builders, to another edition of List Building Lifestyle. We've been going email crazy, and that's going to continue today with Mr. Igor Kheifets. What's happening, my man?
Hey, Jonathan, ready to talk some email, ready to up the game for the list builders who, honestly, Jonathan, I think email is where they suck. Where most people suck. Almost no one pushes the envelope with email.
Yeah, that is true. Before you jump in, I'm going to do this because you talked about reviews on the last one, and let's go ahead and give props to one of our listeners who gave props to us. This comes in from Des Morgan, and he's in New Zealand, and here's what he writes. Igor is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to solo ads, and he freely shares his experiences and provides great advice so that any novice list builder can survive and thrive and build a viable business using solo ads. How about that?
Wow, nice. Finally, some appreciation for my work. Thank you, Des.
Listen, the appreciation shows up in your bank account every month. Don't try to fool us.
Well, it's not. Oh, okay, you got it.
So what do you have in store for us today, Igor?
Jonathan, I remember having a conversation with a buddy of mine, Devon Brown, the creator of the easiest sales system and the web copycat. We were like masterminding about sales and about like how soon should you follow up with a prospect. And it's funny because I've had this question on my questionnaire when they filled out the form. It was a question like, when would you like us to contact you about this opportunity? And we would get all sorts of crazy responses like 5 p.m. the next day, next month, in August, like in 2 hours of me submitting the application, right now, etc. And, since Devon had way more experience, in sales than I've ever had, like he started out selling cars, actually. I asked him like, hey, D, like how soon should I call them? Should I just wait for the time when they requested me to call them? Like if they say, call me next Saturday, I just call them next Saturday. He's like, are you crazy? You call them right away. Like the moment you get the damn application, you pick up the damn phone and you dial because they'll forget about you before next Saturday. They'll forget about you tonight. And that's so true, Jonathan. And that's double for email. So if you ever wonder about how soon should you follow up with the lead using email, okay, as soon as you like get the opt-in, if you will, the answer is now. The answer is immediately. The answer is as soon as humanly possible, which is why when you get into my world, when you end up on Planet Igor, and you submit an application or get on my list, all of a sudden you start getting you get at least 3 emails within the first 10 minutes. One to confirm your subscription, another one to notify you what's going to happen next, another one to give you a gift or something like that. Like there's a whole process we built out where 10 minutes into it, we kind of put a blanket on you. Like an Igor blanket, if you will. So you remember who Igor is, you remember why you opted in, and you remember that there is a conversation that's about to happen by the end of which you will have to give us a clear yes or no about a buying decision that you're planning to make.
I need to submit an app and see what you're up to there, big boy.
Oh yeah, you should play Prospect with me, man, for sure. I don't mean it in a sexual way. You should just play Prospect with me, because I remember having this another conversation with a guy who works for a very famous marketer who's considered to be the go-to guy when it comes to funnels. And they purchased some traffic from me, and we got on the phone with them because they needed me to consult them on something. And so he's like, dude, how many times do you email? I'm like, well, depends on which list you end up on, but usually no less than twice per day. And when you just get on the list, you get several emails. He's like, yeah, I noticed that. You're like freaking spamming me. I'm like, oh, well, okay, I can appreciate that. I definitely mail more than the average bear. But let me ask you a question. Did you buy? He's like, yeah, I purchased 500 clicks. I'm like, case closed. He's like, good point. Maybe we should email more.
No kidding. That's funny, especially from somebody buying traffic. He should have been thanking you for making it so easy.
Yeah, not only that, but also a lot of people aren't ready to buy right away, Jonathan. I'm sure you've noticed that. I mean, you're doing the strategy session thing. I mean, is everyone you talk to like very receptive and says, "Oh yeah, let's sign up, let's do a podcast together"?
No, not even close.
So in order for us to pre-qualify people and to talk to only the best prospects and not to even waste time with people who aren't ready to make a buying decision yet. Not that we don't respect them, we just don't believe it's right to ask them to make a decision if they are not ready mentally, right, or emotionally or financially,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, we want to take them through this process. We want to build them up towards that point. We want them to feel comfortable during this conversation, and we want to align ourselves and understand where these people are. And this is really important. Like, a lot of people don't realize the fact that most people who get on your list, although interested, are not going to buy right away. And it doesn't mean that they don't want to hear from you. It doesn't mean that they just get on your list for the sake of getting your list and they will never read your emails, although some people are like that. But sometimes they need to stay on your list for a while before they can make a buy decision. It's just, maybe even not even make a buy decision, but sometimes they need to stay on your list just to make a decision to talk to you about making a buy decision. Again, remember, people are very timid and fearful. People have doubts. They're skeptics. They've been scammed before. They don't feel educated enough about your product. Like, I was going through this process a couple of weeks ago. This buddy of mine who I told you about, Jonathan, who, we have coffee every day.
Yeah.
It was his birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to gift him with a camera lens because he is actually just getting into the habit of shooting daily videos for his grocery store. And so I am like the last person on the planet to know what to do in this case. Like, I don't understand cameras. The closest I've ever come to a camera is probably my iPhone. I don't own like a digital camera. I never took interest in them, nothing. So naturally, I go online and try to research what's the best lens for his camera, which, I got the name from his wife. And so after 30 minutes of research, going back and forth, I realized there's just too many options. It's too confusing, and I gave up. I just gave up. And for 2 days, I procrastinated about doing it again, although, the birthday was fast approaching, because I felt so stupid about this. I felt like an idiot. And naturally, I did not want to just go to the camera store because I was like, well, they're going to see that I'm an idiot about this and they're going to take advantage of me because, because we live in Israel and that's what people do over here. They're going to see that I'm an idiot. They're going to see that I don't understand anything about cameras. I cannot make an educated buying decision. So they're going to probably sell me something super expensive because I'm going to come in, I'm going to see me pull up in my $80,000 car, right? They're going to see me come in with my wife who has a Prada bag or whatever, and they're going to sell me something really expensive, which I don't need, which my friend doesn't need. So, long story short, what I've done, I've spent a couple of days watching YouTube videos, camera reviews, and then I also called up a friend of mine who's very knowledgeable in this, expressed what the goal was, and my friend needed to be able to shoot videos in a poorly lit, closed door environment, like his store, right? Like, there's no sunshine there, so he needs a lens that can actually pick up light. And she instructed me on what to do, and I went ahead and I stepped into the store feeling confident, knowing exactly what I needed. I knew how to test it. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was looking for. I did not show up as an idiot, which again allowed me to feel that I was making an educated buying decision, because we all want to feel that way, Jonathan. No one likes to feel stupid when making a buying decision.
Of course not. Then they are not going to make that decision like you did. You delayed it till you got educated.
Exactly. And if there was not a deadline, I would probably kept on delaying that. Now, the beautiful part about list building is that it allows you to educate your clients seamlessly and slowly but surely get through to them to a point where they feel educated enough and smart enough to approach you and have a conversation, by which point you're already a trusted advisor. You're not just a salesman. They trust you. They want you to suggest what they are supposed to do because you projected the value and you projected your expertise through your daily emails.
So I want to go back to something you mentioned. you had to make that decision to buy the lens because you had a deadline. So how do you use that, or do you use that in your emails?
Well, obviously, we had an episode where we spoke about scarcity, and it's a whole episode. It's a whole science on and of itself, and I recommend you go back and you listen to it. Scarcity is the single most powerful decision-making driver on the planet. I think just talk to pregnant women and the husbands of pregnant women. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like the deadline is evident. Now, how do I use it in my emails? Very simple. I would I would do a sale with a clear deadline. I would imply scarcity overtly, that I'm running out of my traffic runs out this month, and I'm booking the last couple of spots for June or whatever. And so if you want to run your traffic in June, you got to talk to me right now. I will talk about having allocated a very specific, very special type of traffic, and only having 10,000 clicks on that, and running a special deal on that. So long story short, I will use scarcity any way that I can in my emails. I will use date-driven scarcity. I will use amount-driven scarcity. I will use price-driven scarcity. I will use whatever scarcity I have to as often as I can in order to help people make buying decisions. But again, only do that after I've established myself as a trusted advisor and not just a sleazeball salesperson.
What does your intake campaign look like? So you send 2 or 3 emails on the first day. Is it like a set autoresponder, or are they put right on broadcast?
Well, actually, I'm more aggressive than that, Jonathan. I have 2 emails going out right away. I have 2 more emails, one of which is manual, going out about 30 minutes later. And from that point forward, they get a daily email on the follow-up and 1 more email on the broadcast. So
Wow.
This is super aggressive. Most people are, like I said, they're not pushing the line, not pushing the envelope hard enough, but it works for me. So, list builders, you can try with 1 email a day. See where it takes you. If it works, try 2 emails per day. If it works, keep on going, keep on pushing until it stops working.
I think you're scaring people right now. But I like it. It makes me want to, it inspires me to up my game. And so, Igor, what kind of stuff do you do to help build that trust with the people as they come in so that they can make that decision confidently?
Well, it all comes back to the infotaining principles. In fact, instead of telling you about it, I recommend you pick up a copy of the free Igor Survival Guide, which you can get on our show website. Just go to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/blog, and you'll see a big banner ad. It's a training I recorded, okay, which reveals the 17 principles I use in order to be infotaining my emails, which of course results in my list looking up at me as an authority, basically building up a pedestal for myself in their eyes.
Man, I'm surprised we haven't talked more about that on the show. Yeah, that's a good idea. I forgot that was there. Always building resources, man. So any other thoughts on emails going stale fast and what people can do to execute better?
Well, the only one thing I believe it's important to share, kind of drive home, is that just like when you're going out there hunting for numbers, if you're single, right, and you're dating and you're hunting for, approach women and you try to get their phone number. Once you got her phone number, there is absolutely zero guarantee she's going to pick up the phone the next day. In fact, she might not even remember you. So email marketing is the exact same thing. If they give you their email, it does not guarantee by any means that they will remember who you are tomorrow. It does not guarantee they're going to buy from you. It does not guarantee they like you. It does not guarantee anything, which is why if you've been building your list and then emailing your list and nothing happens and people just reply with an angry email saying, "Who the hell are you? Stop emailing me," that is normal. That is absolutely normal. You should take that as a part of doing business. However, this is also an indicator to the fact that you have to follow up quickly and aggressively. Okay? That is critical. This is really important for you guys to understand. Just because they gave you their email does not mean they like you, know you, or want to buy from you.
Surprise. All right. So what do you have coming up for us on the next one, Igor?
Next one, we're discussing funnel hacking. This is the term coined by Russell Brunson, my guest on the show, one of the top internet marketers, if not the internet marketer in our industry right now, the creator of ClickFunnels, the guy we all know, like, and trust. Great guy, by the way. He talks so fast, and he's going to basically break down entirely how he funnel hacks. Basically, how does he go into a competitor's sales funnel and identifies exactly what makes the funnel successful so he can model that for his own business. And this is the strategy he used in order to build his $4 million per month business in several different niches. So if anything, you should just listen to this episode because the guy knows what he's talking about. He's a trusted authority. We know that everything he says is actually true and not just rehashed theory. He practices what he preaches, and he's one of the greatest guys I've ever gotten a chance to interview.
That's funny. I was just talking about hacking your funnel. How about that? And we didn't even plan it. So that is a wrap for another List Building Lifestyle. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, List Builders, for tuning in, and we will be back with you next time.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.